Myth is defined as ancient story that teach a moral lesson and usually explain how something came to be. Myth is never living the modern life. Its existence still can be found anywhere, include pop culture. One of the mythology applications that we can easily find in the pop culture is through movie. There are many movie stories that inspired by myth, particularly Roman and Greece. Not only movies that targeted for adults such as Black Orpheus and Clash of Titans, but also movie for children formed in animation. For example is movie produced by Disney. Disney movie provided in many titles and some of them put the mythology in their story. One of those is Hercules. Hercules movie was released by Walt Disney Pictures in 1997. This animation movie was inspired from Greece and Roman mythology. In the Greece and Roman mythology, Hercules or Heracles is known as a hero character that represents strength. Hercules is a Roman name which Greece known as Heracles. While in literature or pop culture, the name of Hercules is more commonly used than Heracles. Since the audience of Hercules from Disney is particularly for children and teenagers, so the movie has to be fun, interesting to watch, and not really serious. Then, is there any difference between Hercules stories in mythology to Hercules in Disney? Actually, it has many differences. However, there are also similarities to the mythology that explicitly told in the movie. The first is differences. There are some differences in the movie compared to the real mythology that can be found. In the real mythology, Hercules was born by father Zeus and mother who was a mortal woman named Clymene. Zeus made Clymene pregnant after he changed his appearance, became Clymene's husband. Since he was born from a father who was a god, while his mother was not goddess, it made him born as not a god. However, in the movie from Disney, Hercules was born by Zeus and Hera, the god and the goddess of Olympus. In the real mythology, actually Hera was Zeus' wife and she was the one who hated Hercules. Second, in the real mythology, when Hercules was still a baby, Hera was the one who sent two snakes to kill him. It caused by the jealousness of Hera towards Hercules, because Hercules was born from his husband with another woman. In the movie by Disney, there is a part of the story where the baby Hercules was bitten by snakes. But it was not sent by Hera, Hades instead. Hades is the one who became evil in this movie. It was contrast with the story in real mythology, since Hades didn't take a part in Hercules' story. In the mythology, the one who hit Hercules was Hera. Hades in real mythology was told as Zeus' brother and the lord of underworld, but he was not evil and he was not hate Hercules. Maybe the reason why Disney chose Hades' character as an evil, since Hera itself was already told as a Hercules' mother. Hades was also a man whose appearance was more suitable to become an evil. The Muses were the group of women who were consist of 9 daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne. The Muses were the goddesses of arts and science. Each of them had ability on arts, science, and literature. In the movie itself, the Muses were appearing. They took a part as narrator in the beginning and at the end of the movie. But there are only 5 Muses in the movie. In the movie, Hercules told had an animal that accompanied him along his journey. It named Pegasus, which formed horse-like with wings. Pegasus was created by Zeus that made from clouds. In the mythology itself, there was no story about Hercules who had Pegasus. In mythology, Pegasus was told as the winged horse of Poseidon and Medusa. By adding Pegasus, Disney might want to make the character more interesting, since the character of unique animal would likely more attract the audience. In mythology, Hercules was trained to improve his strength by a centaur named Chiron. A centaur is a creature that having appearance half man and half horse. Chiron was the wisest one among the centaurs, while the others are savage. Different from its mythology, in the movie Hercules trained by a unique creature that having chubby and short appearance named Philoctetes. In the movie, Philoctetes was the one who trained Hercules to maximize his strength. He changed Hercules, who had a average body, become the one who had big body. Disney made the character of Philoctetes as Hercules Jr., since he had cute appearance rather than centaur. In the movie, Centaur was told as the one who disturbed Megara and defeated by Hercules. In the mythology, Hercules was very confident and sometimes lost his temper. His carelessness caused him to kill people around him. Even one of mythology versions say that Hercules killed his own children and his wife Megara. Meanwhile, in the movie, Hercules told as a nice man with strength and a little bit unconfident at the first. His carelessness made him destroy the stuffs around him, not until kill the people. Besides having many differences, actually there are also similarities that can be found in this movie. Of course, both of the mythology and movie told that Hercules was a hero and he was the symbol of strength. He was very strong, and his strength was already known since he was a child. Both of mythology and movie told that the strength of Hercules when he was defeated the snake sent by Hera or Hades when he was still a baby. Both movie and mythology told that Hercules was born by Father Zeus. Zeus is the king of heaven and earth, and he was the king of all the Olympian gods. In mythology, Zeus known as the father of Hercules with a mortal woman named Alcmene. In the movie, Hercules was also born by Zeus, who was the king of Olympus. Both in mythology and in the movie told Megara as the first love of Hercules. However, in the mythology, Megara was told as only his first wife and held children who were killed by Hercules. Even in some story of mythology, Megara told was killed by Hercules. Meanwhile, in the movie, Megara told as the first and the last love of Hercules. Even at the end of the story, Megara lived happily ever after with Hercules. Both mythology and movie told that Hercules was defeated monster named Hydra. In mythology, Hydra was monster creature which had many heads. It was become the second labor of Hercules. In the mythology, Hydra was raised by Hera in the purpose to slay Hercules. Meanwhile, in the movie, Hydra was sent by Hades to defeat Hercules. That's all the differences and the similarities that we found in the Hercules movie by Disney compared to the story in mythology.